to find another game. Let's take a look at this kingdom. Okay, so we've got, all right, so we've got an awkward number of cards in supply. That's because we have Young Witch here, which, if it's in the kingdom, you add an 11th card. It's a cursor, but then you add this extra card to function as a bane. In this case, Steward is the bane. If you have Steward in your hand, you can block the curse. Let's see. Draw. So we've got Destrier, functionally laboratory. That's draw. Catacombs, basically a smithy where you can choose either to draw your top 3 cards or discard them and draw the next 3. But smithy, of course, is terminal draw, +2 on net. Steward can draw +1 card. Young Witch looks like draw at a glance. It says +2, but I think we looked at this video. We looked at this card in the draw video. It also requires you to discard 2 cards, so you're actually net losing 1 draw. King's Court. King's Court's like draw. It's like Mastermind, only it's not delayed. If you take a card that draws even 1 card, like say Fisherman, you King's Court it. You had a hand of 5 cards, King's Court, Fisherman, and 3 other cards. You then get rid of 2 of them, those 2 because you played them. And then you get this effect 3 times, so you draw 3 cards. So King's Courting a card with any amount of draw would count as draw. Likewise, action. King's Court function is plus action. You just King's Court a card that has plus action on it, you're getting a village effect. We've also got Native Village, which is +2 actions. And I think that's all the villages that I see. We also are starting with shelters, of course. So there's Necropolis, which will be 1 extra village. Trashing. Cemetery can trash. If you buy the cemetery, you can trash up to 4 cards in your hand. That's nice if you can line it up. Obviously, it's kind of hard to do in the early game because it's hard to buy a card for 4 and then also trash. Steward also lets you trash 2 cards. Gains are going to be pretty limited, though, here it looks like. I'm not seeing a good way to gain cards other than Smugglers, which will be contingent upon what the opponent buys. So that's going to be, oh, here we go. I wasn't looking at the, this part, it's not easy to view from here. We have plus buy here, we'll be fine. You buy fair, it's a project, you pay for it once, and then for the rest of the game, each turn you get +1 buy. Then we can definitely build an engine with 2 buys, that's plenty. Alright, so we had 2-5. Strongly consider, I would have really liked to open, I think, just Steward. It's the best trasher here in the early game. I'm considering just opening Steward anyway, despite having 5. The other option, I think, is just get Coven, get the trashing online. The problem, I think, is by the time those curses from Coven hit, they'll be pretty well trashed, and we'll probably be able to deal with it. The way Coven works is it sends curses straight to exile, and then once the curse pile empties, then the curses drop into your deck. So, on the one hand, it hits hard when it happens. You get like 5 or 6 curses all at once, and it's hard to deal with that. On the other hand, it means it doesn't slow you down early, which is kind of the main benefit of cursors. So I think I'm just going to prioritize trashing and get the Steward. This is another awkward hand. Again, I would rather be trashing the shelters first, because shelters are worse for your deck than the coppers are. But I don't have any shelters in hand to trash. So now I'm going to hit 2 again. I'll just take another Fisherman. Fisherman, it's not like going to be particularly significant or anything here, but +1 card, +1 action. Remember, that makes it neutral, and the effect is functionally +1 coin. So you're getting +1 coin and no drawback. No reason not to buy it. Alright, gonna take a second Steward here. We do need to get trashed expediently. And the plan is eventually going to be to ramp up to King's Court. King's Court's just a phenomenal card. Like we were saying, it's draw, it's action. Every card you play it, you're getting the effect thrice. We'll definitely want at least 1 Smugglers or 2 in our deck, so that if they gain good stuff, we can smuggle it. And we'll definitely want fair at some point, so we have plus buy around. Merchant Ship, I hate that buy. This is bad. It's terminal action. It's basically a silver when you play it. It's a terminal silver when you play it, which is worse than normal silver, because silver doesn't require an action. And it's like a non-terminal silver next turn. I don't know why you'd ever want that. Literally, you could just get Coven, which is, non-terminal silver and curses. Definitely seems just pretty much strictly better. What am I getting here? Well, I think I just want to trash these 2. Maybe it's time for fair. I can get fair now. Not that I really needed fair this early, but there wasn't a whole lot else I wanted that much either. I could have considered a Fisherman. I could have considered a Smugglers. Smugglers seems a little dicey because I already have 2 terminal actions on my deck, and this is also terminal. I don't have any villages to cover it, and I think I just trashed my Necropolis. Fisherman is viable, but I think maybe if I get Spheres early, with the extra buy, I might be able to pick up more Fishermen in the long term, because they're very cheap. Fisherman now? I'm going to take a Fisherman now, because they have cards in their discard pile, so if they happen to have a Smugglers in their hand... oh, never mind. I was about to say they can't smuggle it, because it'll cost 5 for them, but Smugglers is not up to 4, it's up to 6. That was a silly thing I said. Ignore that. Yeah. Alright. I kind of would have liked this. This is the last steward, and so on the one hand I don't mind, like their terminal actions aren't colliding. On the other hand, there's this haunted mirror that when you trash it, you can discard another action card from play to gain a ghost. Ghost is really nice. It's like a sort of like a throne room-esque card, where you can set aside a card and play it twice the next turn. And so I wouldn't have minded having that steward in my hand, so I could trash the haunted mirror this turn and get the ghost. But we can't do that, so now I'll use Coven, Fishermen, Smugglers, Native Village Smugglers. Let's go with the Coven. Not really sure. I'm probably going to Smuggler anyway. I probably should have taken the Smugglers in like a Native Village. Because I don't think they'd played their Smugglers yet, had they? Yeah, I should have. Rather than getting 1 high value card, they're going to be Smuggle Berries. I should have gotten like 2 low value cards, which would have given them less benefit out of smuggling it. That's probably a mistake on my part. Now I can trash this, I think. Get myself the Ghost. Do I want 2 villages? Given how limited we are on buy, I might as well pick them up both now, even if I don't really need 2 villages now, because it's going to be hard to get mass villages down the road, and I do want to be able to play, like Smugglers, for example. King's Court seems obvious here, I would think. Yeah, they agree. What's the rating? Yeah, they're not bad. I expect them to make generally competent decisions. Set aside. I set my Fisherman aside. That means this top card is a Steward. So my options are, I could just play this for coins directly and buy something, in which case my Ghost is going to reveal the Steward and play that twice next turn. Or I could draw the Steward, and then my Ghost is going to hit whatever I buy. I think I'd rather do that, because I think I would like to buy King's Court. Now, I might as well buy a Fisherman too here. I'd really like my Ghost to hit the King's Court, I think, but 50-50 shot. Yeah, I found the Fisherman, no big deal. Still looks like a fine spot. We're completely trashed. I want Smugglers this turn, I think, because I'm limited to 2 gains right now with 2 buys from Fair, and I'm already hitting price points where I can easily afford to buy 2 cards. So adding more coins and stuff isn't going to help my deck too much because I'm limited by number of buys. Smugglers will give me an ability to get extra cards into my deck. It will be contingent on what they gain, right? They have to gain valuable cards for me to smuggle them. But even just having that threat, I think, is worth it. They get a Destrier. Yeah, like I'd love to smuggle 3 Destriers. Alright, so we're going to King's Court this Coven for lots of curses. I don't think the curses is going to be the biggest thing here, to be honest. It's going to hurt them in the short term, but like at some point you get your King's Courts up and running, you can play like a ton of Stewards and trash all those very easy. These native villages are no longer particularly important. So we want our Smugglers, and we want another King's Court, I think. So a nifty little interaction with King's Court that you should be familiar with is so I think we've discussed in previous videos, playing Throne Room on Throne Room is better than playing Throne Room on one action, Throne Room on another action separately, because Throne Room, action only takes 1 action to play that initial Throne Room, and all the rest of that is sort of like a branching off effect from the initial Throne Room. So you're only spending 1 action, whereas Throne Room action, then Throne Room other action, and playing 2 actions separately with Throne Room is costing you 2 actions, 1 to play each throne room. And either way, you're playing 2 actions twice, or 2 non-throne room actions twice. But doing it the throne room way is naturally better for conserving actions. Now with King's Court, it's even more significant. It's much better to play King's Court, and then King's Court stuff rather than King's Court a card, King's Court a separate card. Because if you King's Court your King's Court, you're actually playing it thrice. And so if you have 2 King's Courts and you King's Court the other King's Court, you're functionally getting 3 King's Court plays out of that instead of 2. So based on that, I'm first going to try to draw, oh, I got lucky here, right? I wanted to draw in case I could find my second King's Court. Because if I do it this way, I get to play 3 cards via King's Court instead of 2. Let's just draw a bunch to make sure we can find good targets. So we're definitely King's Courting the Coven. It's a lot of curses. What did they gain? Let's see if they got anything I want. They bought King's Court and Steward. Do I want a lot of Stewards on my deck? Maybe I don't. So I could King's Court the Smugglers and gain, hella Stewards. But I don't know, Steward's not an amazing card right now anymore. We wanted it for trashing, but now I think I'm going to pass on it. In fact, I might even consider trashing these native villages as well. We'll have plenty of action from the King's Court, since they might just get in the way. I think I'm going to keep the native village around for now. I'm not really sure about that. So we're definitely going to... I don't know why I didn't play the Steward for money. That could have been relevant. I don't think it's going to be super relevant, though. Buy King's Court. Yeah, like anything I could buy here is going to be within the price range anyway, but there's no good reason not to play that for money, in case I change my mind. Another Smugglers, maybe? I mean, this puts them in the awkward situation of if they, take a Coven or a Duster, I can, darn near empty the pile. Oh good, I found the King's Court, that's good. Because if I King's Court 2 Smugglers, I get 6 copies of whatever card they gain. So I don't mind having extra Smugglers around. And then we're probably going to want a Province pretty soon. They're going to, probably next turn, have at least 8 curses in their deck. Potentially 9, probably 8. They're probably going to give me this last curse. Please gain something nice, costing up to 6. Destrier, perhaps? I would not complain if you bought a Destrier. Gold. I don't want a gold. Why are you buying gold? That's not good for you. So, gold can't be King's Courted, so it's going to be awkward. It's like a stop card in the deck that doesn't line up with this very well. And the maximum amount of money you'll ever need, conceivably in this kingdom, is 16 to buy 2 provinces. Maybe they're thinking deliberately, I'm just going to add a card that's shitty for Jacob's deck. Who knows? I'm considering smoking the golds anyway, because I got this little aqueduct landmark here, which each time you get a treasure, silver or gold, you move one of these little victory point tokens to the aqueduct pile. When you buy a victory card, you get all those. And so I'm thinking I could just smuggle all these golds to put all those on the aqueduct mat, then buy a victory card and score all the points. I can trash the golds later. I'm going to try that. I had this ghost, so I was playing the first King's Court twice. Then I King's Courted another King's Court. So I get 2 extra King's Court plays off of that. So, 3 total minus the one that I used to play it. So that's 4 total. Then I King's Courted this. So I have 6 total King's Court plays. I've used it to King's Court 2 cards so far. So I can safely King's Court a whole bunch of stuff now. Let's go ahead and trash 2 golds. I don't really want them all that much. I'll gain some more golds. Well, do you want to King's Court the Coven? We only need to play the Coven once to give them the curse, and any more than that's going to be excessive. So, I mean, this one doesn't really matter because I'm going to draw my deck anyway. Okay. Yeah, so now I'm going to buy a province, take all that. And I think I'm just going to take another King's Court. Now we need to get all these goals back out of our deck. I don't want them, not one bit. I don't need him to hit 16. Okay, so now I got 2 curses to trash as well. They bought a King's Court and a Steward. I don't want Steward all that badly either. Why can't you buy like a Destry or something? Come on, be nice. You can King's Court or Coven. Let me double check. The only things they gained all turn were King's Court and Steward. Sadly, Smugglers can't gain King's Court. I don't think I want the Steward. Like, it's not terrible, but it's not super crucial either. Let's just not get it. Is this just another province and another King's Court? I think I want to take a Destrier. I'll be happy if they smuggle it, because then I can smuggle hella Destriers. In fact, if they take a Destrier, can I just end the game? I can smuggle 6 Destriers and I can buy 2 cards. That's not quite enough. If they take like a Destrier and a King's Court, I can end the game. So please buy King's Court here. Okay, well now I think I can end the game anyway. I can smuggle all the Destriers. If I find both my Smugglers, which I might not. I want to draw one. I have more King's Courts in there. Okay, yeah, so I think this should be a win now. I think my Smugglers is down here somewhere. Yep. Set aside, pick up. There we go. King's Court, Smugglers, Smugglers. And we have a points lead, so we can just buy these last 2 King's Courts, and that's 3 piles empty along with curses, and that's a win. Okay, takeaways. So firstly, King's Courts are a really strong card. It's arguably the strongest in the game. So yeah, a lot of kingdoms with King's Court are gonna very much revolve around King's Court. Secondly, don't feel compelled to buy the most expensive card you can. We saw I had this awkward 2/5 opening, and I think a lot of people are gonna think, oh, I got 2/5, I got 5 in my hand, I might as well make use of the 5, I'll buy a 5 cost. Sometimes the best card for your deck is not the $5 card. You know, it often is, but not always. In that case, I thought the best card in the opening was just Steward. It cost 3, but it was the only card that trashed. And so, you know, as much as it sucks, as much as I'd rather have 4/3, sometimes you just have to suck it up and say, yeah, like this is a suboptimal opening. 2/5's not good here, but buying a $5 card, you know, sort of out of obstinance is going to make it worse. And so you just buy the 3 cost even if you're spending 5 on it. Anything else of significance? Smugglers can get into these awkward situations. You often get games with this, like Smugglers and limited or no other gains, where the best way to gain cards is to smuggle them, and then you don't want to gain the good cards, because if you gain one of the good cards, your opponent gets a bunch of the good cards off their Smugglers. And we kind of saw that here. And so that's always something worth thinking about whenever you see Smugglers. And any final takeaways? We didn't really get to see Cemetery here, but Cemetery can situationally be a very good trasher. So don't think that because we didn't buy it here, it's not often good. And I don't know, Coven didn't feel that strong. Maybe these curses hurt them, but they didn't even show up in Tarafo's deck until like the last turn or 2. So I don't think the Coven was really a key card. Like, I mean, it's better than nothing. There weren't a whole lot of other cards we wanted more. But you know, it looks scary, a lot of curses, but it didn't seem to be the key card here. I think you could easily just like play without it. You King's Court a bunch of Stewards, you can trash them all in like a turn or 2 anyway. Yeah, so I think the crucial cards here were Steward to get trashed early, King's Court to play a lot of cards, Smugglers to gain stuff. That's my takeaway.